So, twin flames. Anyone ready for one of those? I had a client and I was just talking to them a little while ago, and we were talking about how painful the relationship was with that individual, and how she had read a lot about twin flames, and everything that she had read about them, she thought that, you know, why is it that it wasn't light and love and roses and all the rest of it? And we were talking about it, and I said, literally, from the information I've channeled and the information I found out from myself and, you know, contact in spirit, that the soul, on many levels, that part of the soul that's sent here in having your human experience, your soul can't do the work away from your physical self. The soul cannot feel those feelings, your higher self away from you, that part of your soul cannot have those interactions, human interactions, or know exactly how it feels. It has to experience it through that, for you as a human being. So that's why you come here in the first place, so you can experience everything, so you go for everything, you know, whatever. And having all your senses, you know, feeling, seeing, hearing, taste and everything else, by you actually being in this moment of actually going through your experiences, the soul learns, the soul takes in all that information and experiences it on all the different levels that you go through it. So when you are then faced with this twin flame, that you enter into this relationship that you're attracted to like a magnet, I mean, that's the whole reason, is attracting to you like a magnet. It's that other part of you, that's the part that needs to look at itself. So like a reflection of what work needs to be done internally. So coming together, it's like the work that you do on yourself through that relationship helps the other person as well, which is part of your soul and your growth, whatever. But it's painful, really painful. And, you know, my client was saying about how, you know, that she wanted that partner to really love her the way she wanted to be loved, but couldn't understand. She loved it so much, her heart felt so sensitive, so vulnerable, and she really opened up to this partner. But the thing is, the other person couldn't connect with her because of how she said also that she felt broken, and part of her journey, and how she wasn't, you know, completely fixed. Now, fixed to some degree, you can't, you know, they're broken and feeling fixed, whatever. I feel that those experiences of helping us to grow and to be who we're going to be and who we're meant to be, but we have to have that human experience. We have to encounter it for us to grow, to be who we're meant to be honest. And yeah, it's painful. And then finding a twin flame who you think, wow, this is the person for me, and they can't love you, or they might even realize it, to be honest, or they're in a situation where they might be in a relationship and you might be in a relationship and they can't come out of those relationships for whatever reason, and that's more the human self. So very complicated and complex, but the twin flame is very much a reflection of the inner work that needs looking at within yourself. And then when it's brought to you as like a mirror reflection, it sort of shows you what work that needs doing on yourself, really, to be honest. And then coming together and doing that work. Now, a lot of people that I know who've encountered twin flames, as in people that they have such an attraction to, that they are so much like them, it's part of themselves. You know, they look in their eyes and it's like part of them, they're sort of loving that other part of them. They've literally brought this person in life so that he can grow and so they can expand, to be honest. When we looked at this with one of my clients, and we was talking about it, and I said, what has it shown you? What has it taught you about yourself? And, you know, we looked at that, and initially they couldn't find what it is that they learned from that relation. They're just so heartached by everything that had happened. But we looked at it and I said, well, would you have known that if you hadn't have entered into that relationship? And she told me the other person was really depressed and how they thought about themselves, and they just had no space for her to come into. And it was about then looking at what did she want, my client, and it was that wanting to be loved, wanting to connect to somebody, you know, and they'd come out of their situation and, you know, they sort of gave everything up for this individual. I sort of taught them on a different level. So I think we have to be careful with we think of twin flames being like light and fluffy. It's not so much about that. It's really about personal growth, and personal growth can hurt. It's, you know, you've had that terminology of growing pains. It's very much like growing pains. when you experience things that you go through and expand yourself. But it's the whole thing is about realizing that it's about a teaching, like a little lesson for your soul. So your soul growth, for your higher self is sending you this so that you can grow. The earth is where you grow. It's where you have this growth. And that's why you're sent here, to experience all those feelings. And that's why we have all our senses. That's why we can interact with each other. But it's almost like the information I was being shown is like your higher self looks down at where you are on the earth plane and looks at your progress and watches over you, because that is your higher self, that is part of your soul that wants to grow, wants to learn, and cannot do that in the soul, wherever it is, in divine universe. It has to have the human experience. It cannot feel those human feelings. I know when I have, loved ones that come through from the other side of working as a medium, when they come in through and they sit inside my body as a trance medium, they make me aware that once they've left their vessel, their human being, and they've passed over, they don't feel the feelings as they did when they were human. So your soul is having its human experience so that it grows and expands. Yeah, and twin flames aren't easy. They're not easy at all. If you see a twin flame, I was going to say run. No, don't. It's just part of you learning and growing. But it's not about beating yourself up. And my client sort of said, in those moments where she has this bliss and she feels happy in herself, it's easier to deal with things and to connect to divine source and, the fifth dimension, and feel happy in herself. But when she's going through a difficult time, like all of us, it is difficult then to, trust in what our journey is and hope that we're on the right pathway. And it's in those moments that, that's not the moment to make those harsh decisions. That's in those moments. It's about, you've got to learn to take that time of self-care, preservation. Self-preservation is so important. So if you're having a down moment, and if you've gone through this experience of, be entering into a relationship and you feel that was your twin flame and it was teaching you, listen, all relationships are teaching us lessons, then just be kind to yourself. Start learning what you can to do to look after yourself. That's the most important thing. And you've got to ride it out. You've just got to take those moments just to be still. What is it that you can do for you? If it means the salt bath, or it means going for a walk in nature, if it means contacting some friends, eating your favorite chocolates, whatever it is, take that moment, be with it, nurture yourself, because you're worth nurturing yourself. It's what it's all about. So just wanted to send this out to everyone, just so that, just because I'm being asked all the time about twin flames and connecting and everything else. So I hope this helps if you're out there and you just want to know a little bit more information. I hope it covers everything. If it doesn't, leave some notes, leave me a message, leave me a little message so that I can get back to you, because there's only so much I can give you information in this, and I'll get back to you and see if I can help you. Okay.